You know, we're all taught that being independent is the ultimate goal. But what if the way we think about it, the way we chase it, is just completely wrong? Today, we're going to dig into this powerful and maybe even damaging myth of going it alone.
So let's just start with the biggest question of all, the one at the very heart of this. Is being independent really the same thing as being alone? This one question, it kind of pushes back against so much of what our culture tells us about what it means to be strong and successful.
Okay, to really get to the bottom of this, we first have to look at what the source material calls the mistake of isolation. And believe me, it's a way of thinking that has become super common in our world today.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Our culture is absolutely filled with stories of the lone hero, right? The self-made person. And all of that has drilled this powerful belief into our heads that real independence means you have to separate yourself from other people, that strength comes from standing completely on your own 2 feet.
And this really lays out the problem perfectly. On the one hand, you have this ideal we're all told to chase, total self-reliance. But then you see the other side, the hidden cost. When you take that idea to the extreme, real, profound isolation and a deep sense of loneliness.
So what's the actual mistake here? Well, it all boils down to something really simple: isolating the self. See, the problem isn't wanting to be independent. That's a good thing. The problem is this really dangerous idea that independence requires cutting yourself off from everyone else.
Okay, so if going it alone, if isolation is the big mistake, then what's the answer? Well, the source material offers a really powerful alternative: embracing the power of community. Now, this is a huge shift in how we think about things. Instead of trying to achieve separation, the alternative is to actively practice community and solidarity. And I really want you to notice that word, practice. It's not something that just happens to you, it's something you have to actively build and take part in. But community and solidarity, I get it. They can feel like these big, kind of vague words. So what do they actually look like when you put them into practice? Let's break down what this powerful alternative is really made of. So here's the definition the source gives us. It says community and solidarity is a practice that's built on 3 key pillars: valuing a shared life together, offering each other mutual support, and, this is the big one, aiming for something called collective flourishing. Let's just zoom in on these 3 pillars for a second. First, it's just about recognizing that our lives are all connected. The second is about actually practicing mutual support, freely giving and receiving help without keeping score. And the third is this incredible goal, aiming for a world where everyone can thrive together. Let's just pause on that phrase for a moment because it is such a cool idea. Collective flourishing. What does that even mean? Well, it suggests that maybe our ultimate goal shouldn't just be our own individual success. Maybe it should be about creating a world where everyone around us has the chance to thrive too. It's a total flip from a me-first world to a we-first one.
So what does this all boil down to? Well, when you think about it, we're basically faced with a choice between 2 really different paths, 2 ways of seeing ourselves and our place in the world. On one side, you have the path of the isolated self, where your strength is measured by how far apart you can stand from everyone else. And on the other side, you have the communal self, which understands that real strength, real resilience, actually comes from connection and from supporting each other. And all of that brings us to one last question. And this one isn't for me to answer. It's really for you to think about. Just take a look at your own life, your work, your neighborhood, your friendships. Where is there an opportunity, even a small one, for you to build a little more community? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.